Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of iTrack. Big shout out to everybody that is just tapped in, man. Hey, major shout out to all the iTrack fam in the building. If this is your first time here, what we generally like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy videos from all around the internet and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. Before we get into it, do me the biggest favor and hit that like button for me, hit that hype button, and subscribe if you're not already a part of the iTrack fam. And let's just get right into it.
The UFO vault just cracked open again. The fifth drop from the Department of War. 41 files, and they're juicy. Like this, 2021. Over the Gulf of Oman, a special ops warplane catches something on its infrared sensor. You can see it, that little white dot darting back and forth. The report calls them cold orbs, 4 feet across. No one's been able to explain it since. Then over a town in the Middle East last year, a sensor catches something transiting clean across the flame. Still, no idea what it was. Here's another, this one from 2023. Central Command sensors watching the sky, and then blink and you miss it. The thing rips across the whole frame in about 3 seconds, and it's gone.
Watch this.
All right, where are you?
So I'm here in the fjords of East Greenland, and I'm standing on some quicksand. Right now, it looks pretty dry, but one of the things about quicksand is as it gets agitated, it liquefies. So what looks like a solid, if it starts wiggling around, it becomes not so solid. So you can see here, as I wiggle my legs, down I go.
Wow. How do you get out?
Down you can go, Jim.
And it actually has made a pool here that's pretty large. So that when I started wiggling, this area in front of me, and so now there's a pool of water there where there wasn't water. So you can see how this idea of liquefaction, or the property known as being thixotropic, with just a little bit of wiggling, this stuff becomes very, very soupy.
Quicksand is probably one of the most contradicting things that there are on the world, because growing up, I feel like we were taught that quicksand was this incredibly dangerous thing. We all thought that we were going to be walking and then just sink into quicksand and be gone forever. You can see in this video that is not the case. Quicksand is not like some special type of sand. Quicksand is literally just sand that is mixed with enough water that the particles have some area to move around. And you can see in this video, this sand is kind of drenched with water, and it allows you to kind of find these pockets where you can like sink down into the sand. Now, yes, you can kind of go down into it, but you're not just going to sink down into the sand and disappear. And when you do get in quicksand, yes, if you move around real quick and stuff, you can kind of inch your way down and keep going down. But as you see in this video, if you're kind of a slow and steady movement and you get one foot out and kind of put that to the side and then get your other foot out and you just move slowly and steadily, usually quicksand is not something you're going to have to worry about.
I think I can comfortably speak for everybody and say we'll take his word for it because we're not trying to mess around and find out.
A lot, fam. Check this out. You ever use the magnifying glass in the sun, bro?
Now that everyone's looking at it, it looks like it's a scene, you know? Yeah. It's dilating. It's crazy.
Dome or not?
I finally found out how they make clouds. Here in Cumberland, Tennessee is where they make them. Just so you know, today's pretty cloudy.
Hey, all the iTrack fam in Tennessee, tap in and let me know if you've seen these cloud makers yourself.
This is your reminder that this actress from Army of Darkness is also this actress from Matilda.
Nothing but silly putty. And this is supposed to be a steak from Golden Corral. This is not steak. I don't know what this is. Even if you tried marinating it overnight, it still wouldn't look like this. This is gross.
Now it looked like she ate that whole steak to me.
All right, everybody, so check this one out. This happened on a mountain in Chile, right? And look at this. What's going on over here? Like, what is that? Who is that? Look at the way the whole face is lit up, right? And then watch this. It's like it went back into his craft and then, you know, took off. Watch, you see that in a minute. But look at that, right? Is that a being from another dimension, and, you know, another world, another realm, and they're in an all-black suit with, I don't know, some kind of helmet that lights up, you know, the whole front side of the face or whatever. Because look at that. Like, there it goes, look. Then it's like it went back into a ship and, all right, time to leave, right? See that? So, yeah, what's happening over here? Somebody let me know.
Did you know that according to rumors, the Japanese government has sealed off a tunnel to protect people from what might be on the other side? This is the Inunaki Tunnel, one of the most eerie and mysterious places in the country. According to legend, at the very end of the tunnel, there is an abandoned village with a dark past, and anyone who tries to enter it disappears without a trace. But why is almost no one talking about it? According to rumors, once you cross the threshold of the tunnel, you are no longer protected by the laws of Japan. There are other unknown rules in place, and as soon as you approach the tunnel, your phone loses signal, as if something is deliberately jamming the connection. If you search for Inunaki Tunnel on TikTok, you will find dozens of videos, and some of them are truly spine-chilling. What do you think? Is this just an urban legend, or is the Japanese government truly hiding what lies on the other side? Thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel, friends.
We've entered the age where anyone can become anyone. Full AI character swaps. Entire personas. Hair, clothing, everything. In real time. At the click of a mouse. Delivered via SaaS.
That's pretty cool, right?
When anyone can become anyone, the risk isn't just in the technology. It's in how we respond to it. Every message, every call, every face now carries a question.
There are cases where children in black, extraterrestrial races who have the ability to appear very humanoid and who have the ability to shapeshift and to look just like your own child. There are cases where these beings are used to intimidate.
So what I think I'm actually filming are a cross between a fairy and like a dimensional being. I mean, it's really the only way I can put it, but they're real, so real.
What was that?
Definitely something I saw with my own eyes. Are you still around? I just saw you up there. Hell is... What is that? There you are!
Boy, he is reaching and he needs to go ahead and stop the cap.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Let's get out of here. Gives it a little character. That's what I like to say.
How long has this house been up on the market? You ready?
Hell no. Sorry.
No, I'm not tripping. Did that just move?
Oh.
Yo.
You letting ghosts in here or something, man?
Hold up, man. Man, y'all might got some. Nah.
That's not moving.
That gotta be a mouse or something.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Let's get out of here.
The platypus is probably the weirdest animal that exists on Earth. It's like a duck mixed with a beaver with an otter's feet. They're also a mammal that lays eggs. And they're venomous, which is also weird for a mammal. And the way their venom works is wild. It's found in their back legs. And basically, they just kick you and drive their spurs into you, which injects the venom. And scientists pretty much know nothing about their venom. There's no cures to it. And get this, when they jump in water, their eyes and their ears shut down. So they're pretty much deaf and blind. But it's cool because they can connect to the electromagnetic field of any creature. So they can hunt creatures by detecting their electrical pulses. Call me crazy, but that's a superpower. They also have no teeth, so when they need to chew, they just throw rocks in their mouth to grind up their food. And I don't know where the food goes, because they also don't have a stomach. Oh, and they also don't have nipples, but they have milk. It just comes out of their armpits. Moral of the story, if you ever feel weird like you're an oddball, just remember, the platypus exists. As always, follow for more facts.
This is written in 91 AD. At the same time, there appeared in Judea an extraordinary person called Jesus, if it be lawful to call him a man. He was a famous worker of miracles, a teacher of those who were desirous of receiving the truth in simplicity, and brought over to him many disciples, both Jews and Gentiles. This was the Christ, whom Pilate, as the accusation of the princes and the great men of the nation, delivered up to the ignominious punishment of the cross, notwithstanding which those who first loved him did not forsake him. He appeared to them alive again the third day after his crucifixion, with numberless other wonders concerning him. And thence to this day there is a set of people who bear the name of Christian, as owning him for their head, Lord, and Master.
My. This is a historical, documented witness that Jesus Christ was real, he was legitimate, and they bear record of him here in this historical narrative. From 91 AD.
Yes, sir.
This is 20 years after the fall of Jerusalem.
This man was not a Christian. He was very anti-Christian. He was very pro-Rome.
can now rent living human brain cells to run your code. A company called Cortical Labs is renting them out starting at $300 a week. It's called Cortical Cloud, real neurons grown from stem cells attached to a silicon chip, accessible through a Python API, basically like renting a regular AWS server, except the hardware is a real neural network that can learn on its own. This might actually be the answer to AI's biggest problem right now, running out of energy to keep scaling up, and biological compute could be exactly that solution. Artificial intelligence, in the end, runs on biological intelligence.
This man just uploaded a video to Instagram circling the Federal Reserve building in New York, pointing out many mysterious things about it, which are pretty hard to fathom. His channel is called Old Good Thing, and he was impressed by the ironwork of this thing. All the windows have these giant iron grates. They don't want anyone getting in. It's made of solid sandstone and limestone from within the States. It's said to have the biggest gold deposits in the world. In the vault at the bottom of this thing is freaking gold, dude. I'm talking gold. Lots of it. But did you notice the address? Check out the top corner. The address. 33 Liberty Street, 33. There's 33s all over the building. Then it also has, he called them dog heads. The comments were saying, no, that's a dragon head. And I could only find like 2 pictures of it being built. I'm sure there's hundreds somewhere, but I couldn't find them very easily. And the question many people are wondering in the comments is why we don't build stuff like this anymore. And I know someone's going to say it's just because it costs too much. You know how much tourism countries in Europe get and how much money comes in because people want to see these giant castle-looking freaking Tartarian structures? They would pay for themselves, I'm sure. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this the head of the snake? What's in this building, man? I'm sure there's secret passageways. There's got to be. Comment your thoughts below and follow for more.
You were quoted as saying that artificial intelligence is more dangerous than nuclear weapons.
And I said potentially.
and well, it goes on. It goes on. And
it does go on.
You say that it's like summoning the demon.
Could be.
Jeez, I would love to go fishing in there.
That is a swimming delete button. That's what that is. Let me tell you something. Meet the great barracuda. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a fully carnivorous apex predator that's found basically everywhere in the ocean. And they're enormous. They get up to over 6 feet long and over 100 pounds. They also have really big attitude problems, like all of them woke up on the wrong side of the ocean. And really big teeth. But no worries. Those aren't used for chewing. Nope. Those teeth are used for ripping big prey into small little pieces. And then they swallow those pieces whole. No thank you. But what makes it even better is the fact that Mother Nature thought it was a good idea to allow them to swim 40 miles an hour as well. And because of that, they do this thing called ram biting, where they swim full speed and bite right at impact. And that usually leads to them chopping their prey completely in half. Like a swimming pair of scissors. Moral of the story, if you've become fond of all your body parts, that's the fish you don't mess with. And as always, follow for more facts.
Now, a close friend of mine has actually been tackled and bit by one of those barracudas, and it is nothing nice.
I don't know. Oh, look at that. Why? Don't touch it, Mama. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Besides astral projecting, I can shift myself and end up in your house like a wolf. And put fear in your home and curse your home. I know how to do all that. So when I went to
wolf?
like a wolf, red eyes, a hair.
Like you could become a wolf?
Yeah, I could become a wolf. I had that down pat.
And so people would see a wolf and
people
think
would
it's
see
just
me,
a wolf.
but it was me.
But it was you.
It was me.
Shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting. In
where
people's
does the
home.
wolf come from? It's just an illusion?
No, a contract with the demonic. It's called doggy.
And so people are seeing
a doggy, so you walk in force.
Wow.
So you get that when you do palamayumbe, the scratches. So you call a doggy. A doggy means the dog.
So it's not really a wolf, but people are seeing it as a real wolf. It's like the demonic powers are that powerful that it looks exactly like
that.
A wolf.
A wolf.
Wow.
So it manifested. I had that contract that I can do that.
Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody. Not your lawyer, not your spouse. No one should be trusted. Not because they can't be trusted, but if you take the approach and ask yourself, what are the things that can go wrong, and you are really operating from that basis, it's a much safer way for everything to be planned.
In the mouth.
No, I saw that, but I mean,
Because you would think if you want to see something, just open your eyes and see.
Well, you know what? You want to hear the story behind it?
No.
All right, y'all, remember, in 2 days, we're going to lose gravity for 7.3 seconds. Or at least that's what some people think. You know, August 12th is going to be a big day for space and our planet and everything. Because not only are we losing gravity, but there's actually going to be a total solar eclipse. And that eclipse will pass directly over Greenland, Iceland, northern Russia, Spain, and a little bit of Portugal. And there will be a partial eclipse that will be visible across huge parts of Europe and Africa, Canada, and most of the northern United States. And so when we do lose gravity, you may not be able to see anything because, you know, total eclipse. You know, it's funny, when I talked about this before, people were not saying that we weren't going to lose gravity, but that gravity doesn't exist at all, so we couldn't lose gravity because gravity isn't real. These are usually the same people who argue that space isn't real in my comments. You may be one of those people, so I'm expecting that comment. But I like to think there's a scenario where we lose gravity for 7 seconds, we start to float into the sky, and all the Christians around the world think it's rapture, but only for 7 seconds, and then everybody else just falls to the earth. So, you know, we may not lose gravity, but we will for sure have a total solar eclipse. Or we'll have a 7-second rapture. We'll just have to wait 2 days and see what happens.
There's clearly something on the other side of the door. That's when she grabs her keys and runs.
Que mire algo y no estoy loca. No estoy loca. Tengo que entrar a trabajar al rato y...
A few days later, she messages a contact with access to police records and asks them to check the history of the building. 3 deaths in her apartment building since 2022 and 3 shootings on the property since 2024. A device that falls on its own. A light that won't stay off. A front door that rattles while she's reading scripture. Something moving in the dark on the other side of her bathroom door at 4 in the morning. So is this Dallas apartment really haunted? Or has the OP just moved into a building with a history that's starting to catch up with her?
This is why you should never take walks alone at night. In 2007, a girl was on a late night walk when she looked at the end of the road and saw the silhouette of a man moving around very strangely. It was like he was doing the waltz, but he was moving towards her, so she was sketched out, crossed the road, and went the other way. After a couple minutes, she turned around to see what he was doing, and he was right across the street from her, now staring up into the sky with a huge grin on his face. Now totally creeped out, she turns around and walks about a half block before checking again, and to her horror, he's now crouched down right behind her. But luckily, he stands up, turns around, and kind of hobbles away. And then she notices something. The man had turned around and was now sprinting directly towards her. She runs to safety and now just hopes she never has to see that smiling man again.
Imagine being so bad at regular turtle stuff that you just became a rock climber instead. This is the Chinese bighead turtle, and not only is it one of the rarest turtles in the world, it's basically its own weird branch of the turtle family tree. Matter of fact, it's the only species in its entire family. These guys live around cool, rocky mountain streams and terrain that's not exactly turtle friendly. Its shell is relatively flat and doesn't provide the same coverage you'd expect from a turtle. But that gives it more freedom to move through the rocks in tight spaces. The tail can be nearly as long as the shell, and it's not just along for the ride. It helps the turtle brace and stabilize itself while it's climbing. But here's where we get ridiculous. It actually uses its mouth to help it climb. It grabs onto rocks with its powerful hooked beak and then uses its tail and legs to push itself upward. So instead of being really good at hiding inside its shell, this turtle traded in some of that protection for mobility and became an armored rock climber. The more you know.
Construction workers on the outskirts of Beijing, China, drilling underground when they unexpectedly broke through into a vast, hollow cavern rather than the solid rock they'd anticipated. An icy draft, strange echoes, and shifting shadows reportedly emerged from within the darkness. As the crew realized they may have uncovered something never meant to be found. Specialized teams from the People's Liberation Army were later dispatched with hazmat equipment to investigate the site further, though what exactly they found underground has not been disclosed.
Are fairies purely fictional, or do they actually exist in our physical realm?
That literally looks like a dead fairy.
It's got legs and arms.
We're gonna talk
like
about
a frog.
it. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only. Look at that, bro.
It was in my pool filter.
We're gonna get a better look at it. Alright, what up, man? It's French Dose, and we about to talk about it, man. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only. You can clearly see this is a not a bug. This is a fairy with a severed head, bro. Fairies are nothing but bugs. That's why they resemble bugs. That's a fairy though, bro. You ain't gonna tell me that that's a bug. I ain't never seen a bug that looked like that. I'm gonna show y'all another video where there was fairies that was flying around the light post. Look at this, man. Leave it in the comments, hit the like button, and make sure you follow me here for more. Share your thoughts about this next video. Bro, those is fairies. Do you see the legs? You see the wings? You can see the face at the top. That is a fairy, bro. We got to talk about this, man. Share your thoughts, bro. Leave it in the comments, hit the like button, make sure you follow me here for more. Help me expose these cryptic creatures that the government wants to hide from you. Salute.
The government must not be trying too hard to keep it from us because everybody seems to be able to get a photo and a video of them. Now, if you don't think that is a fairy, tap in and let me know what kind of insect that actually is.
So here's my bar. What the heck is that? Could it be a little crack maybe in the light? And a free fall. Great, that's in my house somewhere.
I've been in the industry for over 40 years, which is wild because some days I still feel like I'm 19 and other days I feel like I'm 119.
So tarot cards in and of themselves, do you know they were actually created as a card game in Italy called tarocchi? They were not a tool of divination. And it was when it got into the hands of a French occultist who started channeling interpretations for these cards, which, by the way, they're sold everywhere and marketed towards children.
Yeah, Barnes & Noble. Well, same with the Ouija board, you know.
Hasbro.
But you make a point, though, which it's a marketing, right? So if it appears like a game or appears like something for kids, or you appear just like a normal person that's doing good, it has this marketing around it. But you pointed out is divination.
And you're allowing entities to come in and use you.
Our food is the top driver of disease, disability, and death in the United States. Let me just say that again. Our food is the top driver of disease, disability, and death in the United States. Each week, our food kills 10,000 Americans. Each week causes 1,500 new cases of cancer and causes 16,000 new cases of diabetes. Each year, the resulting healthcare costs and lost productivity drain $1.5 trillion from the economy. We can no longer sit idly by while our health and our treasure and that of our children are stolen. Americans demand and deserve action. As a cardiologist who studied food, health, and policy for my entire career, I'm deeply gratified by the actions the FDA is announcing today. I've studied ultra-processed food for years, published more than 650 scientific papers, and just written a book on these topics. These two policies, defining ultra-processed food and closing the GRAS loophole, rank among the FDA's most consequential food and nutrition actions in 50 years.
It's Nottingham. There's this big war, it's some kind of conspiracy like this. They're experimenting on these things the other side, right in the middle of the city. They're sort of containing them in this area. Like, we need to share, we need to like let everybody know this is happening right now. Like, the only thing between us and them is this huge wall. Just want to let everybody know this is happening in the UK right now. There are like zombies or infected people and they're holding them behind these doors in the UK.
Guys, I made it inside. Look at this place. Like, it is haunting. I don't know what's going on outside, but like, it just seems empty, this whole place. There's these like weird statues. It gives me like Resident Evil vibes. And then I like look at this area here. Look, there's like emergency lighting and like looks like some kind of old courtroom.
This might be one of the strangest clips to surface out of Florida in recent memory. A man walking along the beach at dusk in 2024 filmed a glowing orb slowly descending towards someone standing near the shoreline. The light drifted low across the water before stopping directly in front of the person. That's when things took a turn nobody expected. The orb appeared to lift the man completely off the sand. He rose off the ground, then shot straight upward into the night sky and vanished within seconds. Watching the footage back felt unsettling, almost like witnessing something that wasn't meant to be caught on camera. If it wasn't an abduction, nobody has come up with a better explanation.
Well, here's a really creepy but kind of fun fact about Rome if you're ever here. A lot of people come just to see this beautiful fountain, the Trevi Fountain. And it is beautiful, but if you look right across, this church right here literally carries the organs and hearts of 22 popes inside.
So the name of this church is Santi Vincenzo e Anastasio. The current building was constructed in the 1600s, and since I'm not Catholic, I had to do a little bit of research on exactly what the process was here. So traditionally, when a pope died, the funeral ceremonies lasted several days, and this was before modern refrigeration, so the body would quickly decay. So embalmers would remove the organs that decomposed the fastest, and the organs were sealed in containers and stored underground beneath this church's altar. This tradition continued for roughly 300 years, and it ended in 1903. The organs of 22 popes are reportedly still underground. This altar, you can see the plaques on the left and right of the altar. I also noticed some symbols that I've never really seen in a church before. You can see here in the middle there is a triangle with the eye in the middle and a cross, and on the right you can see there was a big picture of the Virgin Mary inside of a white triangle. Definitely an interesting thing to check out if you're ever in Rome, but let me know what you guys think about this.
Alright y'all, so I don't know where this is at or what's the date, but there's something weird happening here. Look to the lower left. See that light, that orange yellowish light? And there's gonna be a close-up, a zoom in on it, but it starts out as like a I don't know, something like a black piece of mass, like black matter there, and then it starts to light up as you're seeing here. I don't know, this is weird, you know. I want to call it interdimensional being, but I really can't. You see that? I think something interdimensional was happening. As far as it being a being or entity, I don't know. That's why I'm sharing it. What y'all think this is?
Do angels have access to our mind? They do, God permitting. What does that look like?
So the angels can do actually two things in relationship to us. The first is they can put an image in our imagination and even put a perspective on that image, just as the demons can do the same thing. So the demons can not only just put an image in your imagination, because we get these, you get thoughts, where did this come from, right? But they can even put a perspective on, like, this would be really good, right? And this is why sometimes people will come to me, like normal men, normal heterosexual men will come to me and they'll say, I had this bizarre experience where I was in this situation and I had this thought of pedophilia, and I had this kind of like inclination of the good. I said, well, that's not your junk, right? That's not you. Demons can make anything look appealing. One exorcist contacted me recently because he had kind of gone through that type of thing. He was working with this one woman who, by any stretch of the imagination, was not good looking whatsoever. But when she walked in the door during one of the sessions, the demons skewed his perceptions and his in relationship to it. And he said he looked at her and he felt this inclination, like, she's just beautiful. And then he realized intellectually, he was like, that ain't true. And so he just stopped, did some prayers, broke it. And then when he looked at her again, he says, ugly as sin, right? So the point being is they can get that perspective. The angels can also do the same thing, because perceptions are either in congruity with reality or they're not. For example, let's just take transgenderism. People's perceptions about who they are may or may not be. If you're a normal heterosexual male, you say, hey, I'm a male, and this is then my perceptions are in congruity with reality. But if I'm some dude who thinks he's a woman, your perceptions aren't in congruity with reality. And so demons are constantly trying to put perspectives on it that either exaggerate or skew or falsify your perception of reality, whereas the good angels can actually do the opposite. They can put perspectives on the imagination, and then so that you get a greater perception of, this is the truth of the matter, this is the reality of it. So one of the ways that you'll notice that is you'll get a bit of clarity in a situation. All of a sudden you'll see the perspective and like, okay, that's how this is actually done. The one thing that angels can do, which demons never do.
This tiny little transformer was built for the moon. It's only about the size of a baseball, but inside are cameras, 2 wheels, and a tail for stability. Its little size is great for small spacecraft, but also for getting into tiny vents and craters on the lunar surface where larger rovers can't go. It has 3 modes of transportation to navigate the rough lunar surface. It's got butterfly, crawl, and turning around. 2 of these little guys launched on this Japanese rocket in 2024, and scientists just published these photos that they took on the lunar surface.
Now, there's tons of debate about if the moon is real or not, but tell me, why would they make little trinkets like that, little action devices like that, if the moon wasn't real? What are they creating them for? Just for kicks and giggles or what? Tap in and definitely let me know what your thoughts are about that.
Plane descending toward Guadalajara International Airport was the actual subject of this clip, at least until something else crossed the frame right beside it. Barely visible in real time, the moment only became obvious once the footage got replayed afterward. A dark, curved shape, cutting past at a speed that had nothing in common with the aircraft's slow, steady glide toward the runway.
I've seen,
the resurrection ritual is what they call it.
Now look, okay, now, all right.
Break it down. Because Jesus did
One of these groups that I've been able to infiltrate along my path,
right?
They do something that pushes you to the brink of death, lets you be dead for like a few seconds,
yes,
and then they bring you back,
yes.
And in that time, people come say, "Oh, the world is a stage."
Yeah. Did you know this? That you can't be a monk unless you die,
and that is why you don't have no damn monks like that no more.
You have to get out your body. You have to die and be proven that you died in order to be a monk.
The boys used to the boys can levitate off vibration, but you got to go through that ritual.
You got to.
And that's the thing. It's like, whoa, everything is a ritual now.
Everything.
Think about the gang shit.
Right.
Handshakes.
Ritual.
Sign.
Ritual.
Getting jumped in.
Ritual.
And once you put all this together, it's like, this is how they are trapping them.
I can't be the only one seeing this. Dude, guys, look at the moon. Does it look like an emoji? What the like, I had 1 glass of wine. It can't be. No, I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. What is that? What does the moon look like, guys?
I'm gonna recommend a movie to you and tell me they're not trying to tell us something. The Memory Keeper. It just hit Tubi, and I just watched it tonight. Tonight it's Monday, and I'm gonna tell you, it was one of the most thought-provoking movies I've watched in a long time. Now, you have to really pay attention to the subtleties, and it's about memories, and the government basically has control over memories. And there is a original memory, the very first one. And there's people that want to release this original memory, and they allude to that memory being that we were created. Like there was a God, that created a creator, then a creator that created humans. And you need to go watch it.
Hidden behind the walls of Vatican City is one of the world's most mysterious collections of historical documents. For decades, people have called it the Vatican Secret Archives, leading many to believe it contains hidden knowledge, forbidden books, and secrets the public were never meant to see. Some claim the archive contains evidence of extraterrestrials, lost gospels, ancient technologies, or hidden knowledge capable of rewriting human history. Others believe it holds proof of religious mysteries the world has never seen. The archives contain approximately 53 miles of shelving, holds around 35,000 catalog volumes, and preserve more than 12 centuries of historical records. These documents include correspondences, medieval manuscripts, diplomatic letters, legal records, and countless other pieces of history dating back over 1,000 years. The archive indexes are not open to the general public, and only qualified scholars with approved research projects are allowed to examine certain pre-approved materials. What are they really hiding in there?
The Illuminati that we know started in 1776. In fact, you can pin it down to a day, the 1st of May, May Day, 1776, in Ingolstadt, Germany, founded by a Professor Adam Weishaupt. It wasn't initially called the Illuminati, because that's not really the name of the organization. It was called the Order Perfectibilists. Apparently that changed. Weishaupt would say things like, never let our organization be known under its real name anywhere, which leaves wondering what's its real name. So Illuminati is simply the plural of Illuminatus, which means one who is illuminated, one who has seen the light. So in Roman times, Christian converts were Illuminati because they had seen the light. Anyone who thinks, and there have been organizations called Illuminati, that the term is not trademarked, not copyrighted. Anybody who thinks they've seen the light about anything is an Illuminati. So it defines nothing. The symbol of the order was an owl, which interestingly enough is almost identical to the owl which is the emblem of the Bohemian Club.
Oh boy.
Make of that what you will.
Also, most famously, we all see Drake using that as his logo. So there definitely is a lot hidden in plain view.
These are some of the sharpest images of the sun ever captured. But when astronomers looked closely at the edges of a sunspot, they noticed something remarkable. Tiny, swirling structures in the solar plasma that had never been directly observed at this scale before. So what could these tiny solar whirlpools tell us about how energy moves through the sun? They're evidence of a process called Kelvin-Helmholtz instability, which occurs when neighboring layers of plasma move past one another at different speeds. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Using the Daniel K. Inouye Solar Telescope, researchers resolved structures only around 20 kilometers across in the sun's photosphere. The observations revealed small rolling patterns along regions of strong plasma motion, and computer simulations reproduced the same structures expected from Kelvin-Helmholtz instability. These tiny vortices could help transfer energy from large-scale motion into progressively smaller structures, where that energy can eventually be dissipated. They don't solve the mystery of why the sun's outer atmosphere is so incredibly hot, but they give scientists a new physical process they can now directly observe and measure, revealing that even our closest star still contains phenomena we've never seen before.
A cow is a machine that we invented, because cows don't exist in the wild. If you're omnivorous, you maybe had a steak last night, okay, that you're getting calories from the food you eat. And the steak was once a cow, okay. What did the cow eat? Cow ate plants. What do plants eat? Well, they don't eat. They just sit there and receive sunlight. So a cow, I said this once on the internet and freaked people out. I should not shy away from speaking truth just because it freaks you out. A cow is a machine that we invented, because cows don't exist in the wild. It's domesticated. A cow is a machine that we invented to turn grass into steak. So, because at the end of that chain is grass that has photosynthesis, essentially 100% of our caloric value is traceable to the stars, specifically the sun. So, you are solar powered and the universe is alive within you. So don't ever sit across from me again and say, I feel small in the universe.
We do not believe in the transmigration of soul. It means that we don't become a tree and then a bug and then an armadillo and then a human. And every time that I've ever gotten anyone who thinks that they're going to go back in a past life and be a Bengal tiger, I don't even want to deal with it, because that's now like Francine said to me years ago, and I think I've told you this, she said the worst word that was ever coined, and I thought she was going to say, she said was imagination. Because she said everything is truth.
So apparently they're saying that President Trump has ordered some of the UFOs to be taken down. Yeah, check this out, roll it.
I am also told by White House sources that President Trump has personally authorized this operation.
Dang.
Which perhaps explains why no full admission has yet been made to the public.
Oh, they're gonna be hella mad. The U.S. government has downed non-human crafts, and President Trump has personally authorized this operation. If you want to see the full video, check it out by clicking the title below. I made the full video on the YouTube channel.
So, I'm sorry, what the hell is this?
So this footage is taken from a telescope looking at the moon. And before you say we can't see the moon that well, yes, you can. You can get a telescope that can see this level of detail for like $10,000. Now, the first thing you notice is the crater shape. And while it is just a crater, it does look similar to what you would see from a, sci-fi spaceport kind of thing with the concentric rings. And it's just an interesting formation. But the real thing is this small object flying right over it. Now, look, this is the moon. We are zooming in on the moon, and we can see this little object moving across this crater, and it is clearly casting a shadow on the moon. If there was no shadow on the moon, whatever, then you could write it off as something in front of the lens, something between the camera and the moon. But a bird or a plane or something flying in front of the telescope is not going to leave a shadow on the moon. So explain to me, what is this thing moving slowly across the surface of the moon, casting a shadow on the lunar surface by a crater that looks an awful lot like a lot of science fiction spaceports? Just something to think about.
Watch this.
Keep going. She coming over this way? Or they hold me dry?
If this little bird suddenly puffs up like this, it's because it just realized it can neither run nor fight. When you see this for the first time, it's hard to figure out what's actually going on. It looks like the bird is mimicking something, like it's pretending to be bigger than it is, but that's not what's happening at all. That swaying isn't clumsiness, it's a very specific signal. A predator watching a still animal can anticipate its every move. An animal that sways becomes impossible to target. At the same time, the wings spread out. What was a small bird becomes a wide silhouette, with that white disc and those fixed eyes right at the center. Its size just doubled. At this age, the barn owl has nothing else. It can't fly well enough yet to escape. It's not strong enough to fight back. So this posture triggers automatically the moment a shape approaches too fast, which means everything you're seeing here, the swaying, the wings, the fixed stare, is a perfectly constructed bluff to avoid a fight that would kill it. In this scene, you're not looking at an impressive bird, you're looking at a bird that figured out that looking the part is often enough to survive.
Morbid Facts, Part 1023. Before becoming one of Hollywood's toughest actors, Jon Bernthal spent years getting into violent street fights, was arrested multiple times, and later admitted he was headed down roads he shouldn't have survived. In 2009, while walking his dog, he punched a man during a confrontation, knocking him unconscious after the man's head struck the pavement. Handcuffed to a police station bench, Bernthal was told that if the victim died, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. The man ultimately survived, but Bernthal said the incident permanently changed him, leading him to abandon violence and channel that side of himself into acting instead. He's since revealed his nose has been broken about 15 times from a lifetime of fights and physically demanding roles. In 2019, Zhao Jingqian fell headfirst from a warehouse roof while rescuing a trapped toddler, using his own body to absorb the impact and save the child's life. After briefly waking from a CT scan to ask, "Is the child okay?" he slipped back into a coma with severe brain damage. His wife, Song Mei, quit her job to care for him full-time, and after doctors suggested stimulating his feet, she began biting his toes every day for nearly 7 years after noticing it triggered a response. In June 2026, Zhao finally turned to her and whispered, "Song Mei, I love you." During writing therapy, the only word he can currently write is her name.
This is the moon from the other night, or day. Look real close. Do you notice anything? I circled it. Do you notice anything next to the moon? 'Cause there's something right there next to the moon. Now I've seen pictures of this and videos of this all over the internet. And there's some massive object that seems to be right next to the moon. Let's look again, except closer. You know I like to look closer. See that circular object? Looks like it's just behind the moon. That thing has to be massive. Massive. Now, because so many people saw that, took pictures and recordings of it, astronomers, the powers to be, people in charge, whatever, have an answer. They say that that's Venus, the planet Venus behind the moon. What? What? Now maybe it is. I'm no astronomy guy, if that's how you call it. But this is weird. This is definitely weird, because that looks like a massive planetary object, which of course could be Venus, or something else entirely, right behind the moon. Let me know what you think, Booshkies. Down in the comments section. Is that Venus, or could it be something else? Till next time, Shabadoo Booshkies, Shabadoo.
Nature is remarkably unserious. I mean, remarkably, intentionally, flagrantly unserious, because if I told you there's a bird that decapitates baby crocodiles, has allegedly eaten baby lechways, that's a lechway, can stand at 5 feet tall with an 8-foot wingspan in a world where I'm a 5'11", often subtracts its own sibling from the census by bludgeoning them into oblivion, often while the mother watches, is scientifically named B. rex, sounds like this. And does all that while looking like a disgruntled Muppet with malicious intent, you'd probably call them an evil-eyed avian antichrist and the spawn of bird Satan. Now what if I told you all that's true and they still have the personality of a cinnamon roll? This is a shoebill stork, and that is the first lie. They're actually in the pelican family, which honestly does not help their case. But shoebill storks are also strangely accepting of people, and a favorite for bird watchers in Africa for the fact that you can stand only a couple of feet from their nest and they won't even act aggressively. The worst they'll do is give a war veteran PTSD, because that beak clapping is how they communicate and greet each other. Machine gun hippogriff will also bow, and it's how couples greet each other after coming back home to the nest. But it doesn't just apply to birds. Some, like Sushi the shoebill, see it as a gesture of respect, and she'll only tolerate your presence if and only if you bow back. And as someone who is a career ornithophobic, I would genuinely disregard all of that just to bow to a B. rex once. I'm not kidding. If there's someone that can get me in the room with a B. rex, ethically, I'll do it. I was actually supposed to meet Sushi in Uganda, but then a bunch of stuff went down, so yeah, let me know, and the more you know.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys for always stopping by, watching, and learning with me. If you haven't already, do me the biggest favor, hit that like button for me, hit that hype button, and subscribe. And definitely drop in the comments below what clip stuck out the most to you. And as always, I will definitely catch you on the next one.